Today we're going to take a look at Rainbow Six Siege, the multiplayer, and also answer those questions of is it smooth, and secondly, is it worth it? Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Tech Yes City. This is Brian coming back to you guys today with some gameplay footage of the Rainbow Six multiplayer beta. Now, this game was free to play over the weekend, and I've spent a lot of hours on it, both solo and multiplayer with friends, and you'll probably notice that Joker's in this gameplay as well, so you can go give him a big thumbs up and he'll probably have his own review ready in the next few days. This is mainly my first impressions, and I'm going to answer those two questions as I said in the intro. And the first one is this game smooth? And I'm pleased to say that this game is very smooth. I noticed no stuttering at all, even when the frames were dropping to, like as they are in this video, when I don't have my graphics card overclocked. I noticed that frames were dropping to 40 FPS, 45 FPS, and it was still giving a really good experience. So the game is plenty well optimized for the PC. Though on that note, I will quickly mention the graphics, and they do look a little bit dated. I feel like they could improve somewhat on the graphics. It feels like this is based off an old engine from back in the yonder. So I would like to see some graphical improvements if they were to make a reiteration of this game in the future. Though for what it's worth, people who are looking to play a bit of competitive multiplayer on this game will thoroughly enjoy the actual smoothness of the game itself. Now we're going to move on to the second question of, is this game worth it? And that really depends on how you look at this game. I see it as a very tactical style FPS where you can't really go YOLO at all in this game. So it really depends on if you can play this game with teammates or not, because I found when I was solo queuing this game, it was very boring and you pretty much die and you're just waiting around for all your teammates who you don't even know to die, and they usually just go YOLO, and it just doesn't work. You pretty much need a good team and you need communication if you want to win matches in this game. So that's very important. As you can see here, there's a lot of camping based strategies, but regardless, it is strategies that will win you this game. Now, you've generally got the attacking phase and also the defending phase, and depending on the map, you'll have to either secure the building or defuse the bomb. However, on that note, I will say that the scope of the game is very small, and this is in my opinion. You pretty much got different maps, though the gameplay itself is just generally repetitive and the same, even though it is a lot of fun to play with friends. However, on that note of gameplay, it is very unique, and you can do a lot of things in this game that you just simply can't do in other FPSs. For example, you can barricade doors with steel reinforcements, or you can also drop booby traps or barbed wire, or if you're the attackers, you can get a class called the thermite class, and then you can drop those steel reinforced doors down. So really, there is a lot of different tactics that you can do in this game, and it's sort of what makes the game very enjoyable and gives you a different experience to what you're used to with other kinds of FPS games. Although personally, I would like to see more gameplay modes within this game, as I feel only having just one gameplay mode itself kind of makes the game, as I said before, repetitive, and there is no single player campaign. Even though there is single player matches which you can just go up against a heap of terrorists and get some practice, there is actually no campaign with a storyline, and I would have loved to have seen that in this game. I think it would have given me an extra 8 or so or 10 hours of gameplay that I could thoroughly enjoy. And so that leaves it to the final price of what you can get it for now. And I believe this game is going to cost $30, or at least that's what you can pick it up for on cdkeys.com. And so at $30, it is a fair buy, though personally I'm going to wait till it drops down to maybe $20 or even cheaper, as it's pretty much, for me, it's a one-purpose game. Even though it is enjoyable and the game is very well optimized for PC, I found that it just doesn't have the scope that some of the other games that have been released lately do have. So I would have liked to have seen them just add in more to the game, and I would have gladly paid the $30 plus that they're asking for this game. However, lastly, I will say that the game itself does have its fair share of problems at the moment. People drop out randomly, the game does occasionally crash, and also on that note, if a player does drop out, they then can't rejoin a team. So if this happens in a ranked match, it can be very detrimental to your rating. So I would like to see them implement a kind of system where if someone does drop out, whether it be through an internet dropout or whatnot, they could then get back into the game with their team straight away and start off where they dropped out. So that is one thing I really want to see in this game, though as it stands, the game is pretty smooth, and I can recommend it for someone looking for a different experience with an FPS shooter. Though just like Star Wars Battlefront, I will be waiting until this game comes down a bit in price, as I don't see myself playing it that often, especially compared to some other games I have here, like Legacy of the Void and also Fallout 4. Also, before I check on out of here, I will say that the game does have some options in there like HBAO+, which does affect your FPS quite considerably. I noticed when I turned this option on, for example, and everything max at 4K, I did start to get a bit of stuttering there, and the game was starting to chunk in performance. So, though from the get-go, as soon as I opened up the game with the recommended settings, it did play very smoothly, which I will give Ubisoft credit for, considering other games that have been released lately on PC have been coming out even with those recommended settings, and have been playing like absolute dog crap. So anyway guys, I would love to hear your thoughts and opinions on this game. Are you going to wait out until it gets a little bit cheaper? Are you going to buy it, or are you not going to buy it at all? Please drop a comment in the comment section below, and also if you haven't already, hit that like button and subscribe to Tech Yes City for more tech news, reviews, and gaming as well. Peace out for now.